Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by another great episode of North Texas Barbecue Addicts. In today's adventure, we're going to do something I've never cooked before. I've eaten it before at plenty of restaurants, but never got my hands on one to be able to grill up myself, so this is a fun one. I've got a Tomahawk pork chop from Six Brothers Beef Company. I'll have their information down below in the description box. Don't forget we have the North Texas Barbecue Addict discount code that is NTBA10, and it'll get you 10% off your total order. This Tomahawk pork chop turned out awesome. It was one of those cooks that was just fun to do. Me and my brother were hanging out, and this was for lunch, so I think you're going to enjoy it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let's go to the grill. Alright y'all, so the chimney is lit good enough for me. We did a little bit over a quarter chimney of charcoal Kingsford Blue. So let's go ahead and get that into the Weber kettle, old copper. Let me get some wood chunks or chips to get some smoke action going. And we're going with some apple wood chips here for our smoke flavor. That goes perfect with pork, so that'll be awesome for this Tomahawk pork chop. Looking forward to that. So let me go ahead and grab that Tomahawk and we'll get it seasoned up. So we got our kettle rolling right over 300. Here's our Tomahawk pork chop that we're getting onto the kettle. Again, Six Brothers Beef information will be down below in the description box. We're gonna do a indirect cook. So we're gonna put the pork chop right there, and we're gonna get it seasoned up with some amazing Cajun, some of my favorite Cajun rub. Put a good healthy amount on there since this is a good sized pork chop. Just like that. Flip it over. Trying to save some dishes, so we're gonna season it on the grill. Nothing wrong with that. Get the sides there. There we go. Let me show you all this up close. So that's the amount of seasoning we have on it, and we're gonna put the bone side towards the heat. I'm gonna shut this down with the vent over our pork chop, and we'll check on that in 10 or 15 minutes. Alright, so like I said, we've got that pork chop on the Weber kettle. It's smelling awesome with that applewood smoke. It just is one of my favorite smells with pork and applewood and that Cajun rub, the amazing Cajun. I want to give a few shout outs to some of my buddies that also have some barbecue ventures going on. Go check out Slab X Barbecue, Shields Barbecue, and Fast Times Barbecue. All their information will be down below in the description box. They're members of North Texas Barbecue Addicts as well. And if you haven't checked out North Texas Barbecue Addicts on Facebook, make sure you do. That's what this community is all about, is coming together and doing some awesome stuff around the pit. So we'll check on this pork chop in 10 minutes. Alright, so it's been 15 minutes and we've been rolling around 300 to 350 degrees on old copper. This thing is smelling awesome. Let's go ahead and flip that around, just like that. That's looking great, just how I wanted it. Let's go ahead and get a little bit more seasoning on this side that was on the grates so we don't lose our flavor. It's time to go ahead and check the internal temperature. You can see the smoke is penetrating into the meat. The fat's starting to break down on the outside. Right around 111 in the thickest part. So we're shooting for about 145 degrees internal on this pork chop before we pull it off. So we're actually going to be pulling it at about 140, and then we're going to sear it up. Let me go ahead and get some more applewood chips so we can make sure that smoke really continues to penetrate this beautiful pork chop. We got plenty of charcoal in here. I cannot wait to try this Tomahawk chop out. Comment down below if you've ever cooked up a Tomahawk pork chop. This is the first one I've ever cooked. Looking forward to it. My brother is making some freshly minced garlic Italian style green beans to go along with this. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down, and we're gonna keep cooking and check on it in, I don't know, 10 more minutes. We'll check back with y'all then. Alright. I mentioned we were cooking indirect for the first portion of the cook, and what's important to know about a Weber kettle or a kettle in general, you have your dial over here, your temperature gauge. That's right over the coals right now, so typically over here where the exhaust is going to be about 50 degrees lower if it's not over the charcoal, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and take a peek at this awesome pork chop. It's smelling good, and let's see what internal temperature we're working with. Oh boy, that is looking beautiful. Let's see the internal temp here. About 140, right where I want it to be, 143, a little bit over. Let's go ahead and get this grate ready to sear it up. So we want some real high heat for this searing portion, and this is called a reverse sear cooking method. Like I said, we started on the indirect side over here and let it cook slowly, and now we're going to sear it up right over the charcoal and wood. And I want to go ahead and open up this basket down here, clear out some of that ash also, but open up that basket so we can get optimal airflow to really get this thing cranked up. I'm going to go ahead and pull this pork chop off, let this grate get real hot, and then we're going to sear it. Alright, North Texas barbecue addicts, the grill grate should be good and hot, perfect for the sear. Let's go ahead and get it done. Man, I love a reverse seared steak or pork chop. It's really my favorite way to cook most all things. There we go, we'll put that right over the coals. And we're going to sear this up for about a minute each side. Let's move this over here. There we go. Make sure we get some even cooking there. And I don't advise to be grabbing the bone with your bare hands. I'm just used to it. So if you're not used to it, make sure you use some tongs or grab you a towel or some gloves. Some heat resistance gloves, that is. So we're going to let that sear up. That smells beautiful. This is looking amazing. Let's go ahead and turn this around here. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit more of our Cajun rub on this side. Dang, that smells awesome. Again, I'll have the information down below in the description box for Amazing Cajun as well. I love Heaven Made products. They've got some really good stuff. I've been using those seasonings for at least 4 years now. Go ahead and take a peek. Starting to look good. I'd like to get a little bit more fire in here, so I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some wood chips in here just to crank it up a notch. There we go. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and finish searing this bad boy up, and then next time I see y'all, we'll cut into it and give it a try. Now it's the moment of truth. Again, check out Heaven Made products as well as Six Brothers Beef Company. All that information will be down below in the description box. Check that out. Completely juicy. Just dripping. Let's go ahead and cut right down the bone here. Man. Again, we were shooting for about 145 degrees internal for around a medium or medium rare for pork chops, but if you like yours done more, by all means, cook it up a little bit more. We got an awesome sear on here. Look at that. Beautiful. Got a nice little smoke ring too. I just got to take me a quick little sample and then we'll get an official taste test. Oh yeah, that's tender as can be. Let me get y'all turned around and let's try it out. Thanks for hanging out with me again while I cooked up some lunch today. Again, we started out with the Six Brothers Beef Tomahawk pork chop. We reverse seared it, which means we started on the indirect side of the kettle and then seared it right over the fire, the charcoal and the wood, when we were about 5 degrees away from the internal temperature that we were looking for. It smells awesome out here. That smoke's still rolling. Y'all saw I cut into that pork chop. It's completely juicy. I got some, like I said, freshly minced garlic, Italian style green beans to go along with the pork chop. But before we try those green beans out, let's try the true star of the show right here. Again, all the information will be down below in the description box for everything we used today. Also, make sure you check out my buddies that I mentioned earlier in the video. So, cheers, y'all. Tender and juicy as could be. Man, that's awesome. That is really good. That's the first time I've ever cooked a tomahawk pork chop, and it did not disappoint. I love my green beans. You can see they're still hot, but This is for y'all. Let's see what we're working with. Oh yeah, tons of garlic flavor. Now you know I gotta do the combination bite. A little bit of pork chop, a little bit of Italian style green beans to set it just right. There we go. Check it out. Here it is. A perfect lunch on a beautiful day in Texas. Again, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscription button and the bell so you can keep track of this barbecue journey. We're gonna do tons of giveaways for the group. Make sure you join Facebook, North Texas Barbecue Addicts. The link will be down below. Until next time, everybody, peace. Y'all keep on barbecuing. Pork chops and green beans are going down.